Welcome to Literature Essentials online course. I will tell you everything you need to know about this course in this short introduction video, but first, let me introduce myself so that you can know more about this guy who's gonna teach you in this course. My name is Danny, and I've been an English teacher for over 20 years. I've also worked as an educational technology consultant for about 10 years. I started English Plus podcast about 3 years ago, and I'm still the producer and the host of this podcast. I have also published more than 25 educational books and 5 fiction books to date. And finally, when I'm not teaching, I enjoy writing poetry and music. But that's enough about me, and now let's talk more about the course. So what is Literature Essentials online course? Literature Essentials online course is an ongoing online course that is going to take quite a while to finish. And I'm talking here about 8 to 9 months or even more. I designed this course to take some 4 to 5 study hours per week. We're gonna cover short stories, poetry, drama, and even novels. We're gonna have reading and listening, writing workshops. We're gonna have a lot of practice and assignments, and we're going to have unit exams for every single unit we have. And now for the real question, is Literature Essentials for you? Before you can decide whether to take this course or not, is it really for you? Well, this course is definitely upper intermediate to advanced level, and it's even leaning more towards the advanced level, I would have to say. So if you're not there yet, if you are a beginner, you're just starting your journey into learning English, this course might not be perfect for you because you will find it difficult to follow along. So that is about the level of the course. But why would you want to take a course like that? If you are at that level, why would you want to take a course on literature? Maybe you are preparing to study English literature at university, and you want to take this one course that is going to give you a good introduction into different things, different aspects of literature that you're going to need at university. But that's definitely not the only reason. What if you want to understand why great works are great? Why are these great books, great stories? You want to really understand what's happening under the hood. You want to be able to analyze this stuff, to know for yourself why this work is great, why this movie is great. This is not only about stories, by the way, because obviously you know even movies or any other thing that has a story has the same elements of literature that we're going to cover in this course. And maybe you want to take this course because you want to practice your reading, listening, and writing. Or you want to enjoy great stories, poems, and plays. Or you just want to improve your English, but you want to do it while learning about some of the best stories, the best poems, and some of the best even plays and novels in English literature. So you might be one of these, and if you're one of these, or if this sounds like you, definitely this course is for you. But who is this course not for? This course is definitely, as I said, not for beginners, and it's definitely not for lazy students. If you don't want to put any effort in the course, so this course is definitely not for you because I can promise you there's going to be a lot of work. I said 4 to 5 hours per week, and that really means 4 to 5 hours per week. So that's like 1 hour every day. If you're not prepared to give this effort, you might not find this course very beneficial for you. And one last thing about the course, this course cannot be finished overnight. You cannot just watch the videos and learn everything. Well, the videos are just a small part of the course. The big part is about reading, listening, working, writing, and doing all these things that are going to take your English to the next level. And I'm not only talking about the English language here. It will take your understanding of works of literature to the next level. And that might be fascinating for a lot of you. If you're not interested, if you're not fascinated, so maybe this course is not for you. But if you're interested, let me tell you about what we're going to learn in this course. Of course, I'm not going to tell you about every single thing we're going to learn in this course. You can pause the video anytime you want and check the chapters, which I included here with the titles of all the stories we're going to cover in this course. But let me tell you about the units and what we're going to cover in these units. So in Unit 1, we're going to cover the plot. In Unit 2, we're going to dig deeper into the world of characters, dialogue, how to determine character traits and character interactions. In Unit 3, we're going to move towards the narrator and the points of view, omniscient narrator, third narrator, unreliable narrator. And remember, at the end of every unit, there's a writing workshop. For example, in Unit 3, we're going to analyze nonfiction in our writing workshop. And our writing workshop are very interesting because they're not just an assignment. It's a little bit bigger than that. That's why I called it a workshop. But you're going to enjoy it and learn a lot from it. And of course, at the end of every unit, I told you there's a unit exam that tests your knowledge in everything we've learned in this unit. And now let's continue to Unit 4. In Unit 4, we're going to focus on themes. Theme and conflict, theme and character, theme and title, and other things, of course. And our writing workshop is going to be about comparing media coverage. And in Unit 5, we're going to talk about irony and ambiguity. We're going to talk about different kinds of irony, like situational irony. We're going to talk about contradictions and ambiguity. And all of these things are going to be in context of some great stories. So it's not just I'm going to tell you what these things are. We're going to experience these things within really good stories that we're going to enjoy. And that might be enough for a lot of you. But when you learn the concept and you can see it in a story in context, you will really understand what that means, and then you will be able to see it for yourself in other stories or movies or what have you. So that was about Unit 5. Let's continue with Unit 6. Unit 6, we're going to focus on symbolism. We're going to talk about symbols, symbols with multiple meanings, allegory, and other stuff as well. And our writing workshop is going to be about describing a place. Unit 7 is going to be about poetry. Maybe it is my favorite because I write poetry, or maybe just because poetry is amazing. But anyway, this unit that talks about poetry is divided into 3 different parts. The first part, we're going to talk about imagery, and of course we have some poems to talk about and see imagery in those poems. And then we're going to talk about figures of speech, similes, extended metaphors, diction, implied metaphors, etc. And that will be the second section of the poetry unit. And then the final section of the poetry unit, we're going to talk about the sounds of poetry, like rhythm and meter, rhyme, ballad, free verse, etc. And all of that in Unit 7, talking about poetry. After that, we're going to move on to talk a little bit about criticism, because by now you will have a good idea about the elements of literature, and then we can talk about evaluating style, and that's exactly what we're going to do in Unit 8. We're going to talk about evaluating style, diction and sentence patterns, diction and imagery. You will know what these things mean when we reach Unit 8, and here we will move a little bit towards criticism. We will continue on with the same thing in Unit 9. We'll talk about literary roots, biographical and historical approach, understanding historical setting, and our writing workshop for Unit 9 is going to be about writing a research paper. So that might be very useful for you if you decide to go to university or if you are already at university. And then we're going to move to the world of myths and legends, heroes and monsters in Unit 10. And of course, we're going to talk about myths and legends in general because they're definitely part of literature, but we're going to focus a lot of our time in this unit on reading parts from Homer's Odyssey. And in Unit 11, we're going to shift our attention to drama. And of course, when we talk about drama, it's not only Shakespeare we're going to talk about. We're going to talk, of course, about different types of drama, comedy, and tragedy, but we're going to focus a lot on tragedy and especially the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. Actually, we're going to read the whole thing in Unit 11. So this is going to be a very rich unit, and that's why I kept it until near the end, because by then you will be ready to read full plays, especially Shakespeare's plays. And finally, we don't have a Unit 12 actually, but we have a final project where we put everything together. We have choices between all these different novels, and you're going to choose one of these novels. Actually, one of them is not a novel. One of them actually is a play by Shakespeare, Hamlet by William Shakespeare, but the others are novels. You can choose the one you like. Even some of them are not originally English novels, like Les Misérables by Victor Hugo and Don Quixote by Cervantes. But of course, we're going to talk about the English versions of them, as this is not going to be French or Spanish class. But anyway, you're going to choose one of these books and you're going to analyze these books. Of course, I'm going to help you with that, and I'm going to guide you through what we need to think about. But by then, you will have everything you need. Your arsenal will be full and ready to analyze any book of literature you want. Of course, if you want to go to university and study English literature at university, you will learn a lot more. But this is going to be a very good start, and that's why I called it Literature Essentials, because it is actually Literature Essentials. So, are you interested yet? If you are, let me tell you about how to best approach this course. Take the course slowly but steadily, so only 1 unit per week. And I actually have the units drip once per week, because you might be tempted to watch all the videos at once and then come back to do the exercises and the assignments. That's not ideal at all. You will be learning a lot of things very fast, but you will forget them as fast as you have learned them. So take it slowly but steadily, and I promise you will make the most of this course. Another piece of advice for you is to do the optional assignments. I know they're optional, so you don't have to do them. But if you do, you will really take your learning to the next level, so don't skip those. Also, make sure to add the course to your regular schedule or calendar because remember, it's consistency that's going to help you learn anything you want, especially English. I will do my best to make the course as engaging as it gets, but it's your job to be as consistent as you can. And finally, make sure to finish the course before it expires because I will give you extra 4 weeks to review and prepare for the final exam. But after that, your access will expire, so make sure to finish the course before that time. And one more thing before I wrap this long introduction, don't hesitate to ask me anything you want. Just email me at danny@englishpluspodcast.com. It's your precious time we're talking about here. And if you are unsure about whether to invest it in this course or not, the least I can do is answer your questions to help you decide if this course is right for you or not. And of course, when you take the course, you can still ask me anything you want or even send me suggestions, error reports, or anything else you want. Finally, don't forget to listen to English Plus Podcast and keep the learning going, along with the rich learning opportunities you can find on my website, EnglishPlusPodcast.com. That'll be all for this video. Thank you for your time. And finally, never stop learning with English Plus, and I'll see you in the course.